Right, hello everybody and welcome back to the Matt Fryer Golf Podcast. I'm Matt Fryer, your host, and I'm joined here with Mr. Tom Faren, our co-host. How are we, Tom?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Not bad at all. Before we get stuck into this podcast, I would imagine that whether you're listening to this or you're watching this, you would have heard the very sad news that unfortunately Grayson Murray took his own life over the weekend. Had his battles with mental health, and we just wanted to send our deepest condolences to his family, friends, his loved ones, and just say that if you are ever struggling with anything like that, you know, no problem is to be ashamed of, no problem is too big or small. Please do go and seek some help for it. There is a number of charities wherever you are listening in the world, you know, England, America, there's some great ones online. Just please make sure you do go and try and find some support for whatever it is you're going through, because life is tough and your problem might seem that it is maybe silly or too big to handle, but if you get the help from someone else that, you know, that could send you on the right path, hopefully, things like what Grayson did and how Grayson was going through things, hopefully that can help you maybe seek the advice that you would need and maybe get you onto a little bit of a better path. But yeah, our biggest condolences are going out to his family, friends, loved one. It's a bit of a somber start, but I think one. It was
very chilling news over the weekend. I think maybe people kind of forgot about it because he had addressed it. So
yeah,
because he's addressed it publicly, people think he's on the right path, and it did seem that he was on the right path. But unfortunately, we don't know everything, and people do hide things, I suppose, quite well when they feel they need to. So, as you say, Matt,
yeah,
there's plenty of help out there that hopefully people do go and use.
Yeah, but on to hopefully a bit of a cheerier note. Tom, how was your weekend? Have you got any golf played? Watched?
No golf played. My birthday weekend. I've had 31 birthdays now. I've had.
Wow.
So there were a couple of drinks, a lot of meals out, too many really. Sort of got to Monday and sort of felt like I wanted some normal food out of my fridge. But no, a nice weekend which didn't include golf. I was planning on playing golf, but as we've mentioned for the third podcast in a row, I got rained off. So that ruined the golf plans. And other than that, just a few birthday celebrations. How
Lovely.
About yourself?
Yeah, not bad. Family time over the bank holiday weekend. No golf. We were potentially going to play 9 holes, but again, rained off. So going to have to wait for... will I go on the course this week?
This weekend looks nice. Weather looks good this weekend.
Yeah. Family have got to go, you know, a bouncy area and a football camp and a you name it, we're doing it. But one thing that I did want to address with you, Tom, one comment that I've seen a lot from people is, who is Tom? It is like, I've brought home a new partner on Christmas Day.
You didn't introduce me.
I didn't introduce you. I didn't let everyone know who you were. You're now going to be everyone's mummy/daddy, and we didn't clear it with the kids. So just talk us through a little bit why you are here. Why have you?
I don't know.
Why have you ruined
me.
this family? Why are you doing the podcast? Why were you on the Wallacey video? I think we saw a lot of the comments on it there. What's the story about Tom Faren a little bit?
So I am a PGA professional. I have been for 7 years now.
How long is it?
7 years. Been playing golf since I was very young, sort of learned to hit a golf ball at 3, 4, 5 years old. And I've enjoyed it ever since, unlike you, Matt, who just picked it up at 16 and managed to get to a good level. But no, I started taking golf serious when I was about 15. I was quite a hater of the game when I was 9 or 10, tantrums, and wanted to play football. So it was probably good that I learned to hit a ball as a young 5 or 6 year old, which helped me out when I was 14. But started taking it seriously then.
And where did you play golf growing up?
Lee Park Golf Club in Liverpool.
Right, okay. And then was it straight to professional level, or was it played a few amateur bits, played any mini tours, played any PGA bits? What was the story? Story was I played
club level, really, low handicap team golf until I was sort of 18, go to university. And then at the end of university, was lucky enough to move to Florida, where I was in West Palm Beach around Jupiter with all the players.
Why did you come back? It's very rainy here.
I have no idea is the answer to that one.
Silly boy.
One day I might go back. So if one day people are asking why Tom's disappeared, because I jumped on
go to Florida.
Back to Florida. Yeah, that's where I've gone.
You spent a lot of time caddying in Florida. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, spent a lot of time caddying. Whenever I had free time, I was playing. And the industry over there is completely different, really, to what we see over here, and got a good taste of coaching. So I was never good enough to think I could go and play, but fell in love with the idea of coaching at that point. So playing off a low handicap and seeing a lot of golf lessons, enjoyed the idea of teaching, and that's when I returned to take on the PGA qualification.
And you passed?
And I did pass.
Amazing.
With flying colours.
Flying colours, wow.
So yeah, I passed that, and I was in, as we mentioned before, Trafford, which is amazing for teaching. Deliver a ridiculous amount of golf lessons, really. It's a busy facility, it's a really good setup, and that's where I started working with you 6 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
When you started there.
Yeah, it will have been. Yeah. So that's when we met, and then from there you, wow, gosh, even 4 years ago, you helped be a cameraman a bit.
Yeah,
was that 4 years ago?
Probably around.
God,
about
that's
that.
a long time ago. That
in and out. So obviously you were growing the channel. You needed a little bit of help. I think I was on the channel maybe 2 or 3 times. I know we filmed Formby Par 3 at one point.
Yes, I remember you doing a putting video with me at Formby Ladies.
Yeah. Okay. So back in the early days of the channel, I will be on there, and a lot more behind the cameras. I'd go out with you, do a filming day, give you a helping hand. We attempted at one point, when life was a little bit busier, a smaller podcast which lasted a couple of episodes. This one will last longer. I think
that was during lockdown, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. When we had loads of spare time.
Yeah, we had loads of spare time, so we did one called The Coach's Corner. We did about 9 or 10 episodes, which, to be fair, is a good run, wasn't it? I think we recorded all 9 in one day.
We'll get to 11 on this one.
That'll do. But yeah, we did that, and then more recently you came and joined the team at Matt Fry Golf, working on the analytical side of everything behind the scene. You're sort of looking what videos work, what don't, what other things are happening, helping set up a lot of the videos. And then from my point, it was a very natural sort of selection to have Tom as the co-host, because, you know, aside from work, we are friends. I mean, you moved into the flat that myself and my missus used to have. You lived up there, and you sort of integrated with our friendship circle, and we spent more and more time together. So we spent loads of time playing golf together, going away playing golf, and a lot of the conversations we would have were, you know, around my work and your work and golf, and were very natural. So it sort of made sense that when we were having the discussions about you joining and everything, that you were probably the right person for the podcast. That is yet to be voted on by the family, though, who are watching.
We'll see. Like I say, if we make it past episode 9, where we didn't last time, and that wasn't because we had a falling out. That was because coaching got very busy, didn't it? That COVID boom afterwards, was big for lessons, and then I think not long after you started to transition to full-time YouTube. So we weren't in the same building very often. We didn't get the chance to record. I was coaching a lot then. So yeah, my life now, my work life looks like a lot of golf lessons for 4 days a week, and sort of a day and a half to 2 days with you.
Lovely.
Which is plenty.
Yeah.
More than enough.
More than I wish I.
If it ever turns to 5 days with you, I am out.
Gone. Back to the coach's corner.
Disappeared.
Well, hopefully that clears up a little bit of who Mr. Tom Faren is for you, the co-host of the Matt Fry Golf podcast. If you don't as well, make sure that you are subscribing to the channel. We've seen quite a lot of subscribers already for that first 2 episodes, haven't we? I think we're like over 500.
Just over
already.
500.
Yeah, 1,000. Here we come.
A few
100K.
views.
We'll get past the main channel. We'll just get rid of that, and then we'll never have to leave the content cave here, and we're laughing then.
Just live in this corner.
Yeah, that'll be perfect. But yeah, make sure you are subscribed to the main channel. If you're listening to us on a audio platform, make sure you download, make sure you follow those. Leave us a review if you can as well, 5 stars, obviously. It helps just get the reach of the podcast out there, and then we can bring bigger and, well, our first guests, and then we can bring bigger and better guests as we get our first guest.
I think we've got our first guest coming next week, haven't we? Next episode.
We do indeed, which will be, it was recorded when you weren't here, but it was quite a fun conversation actually. So yeah, that'll be coming in the next episode, and we'll leave it up to speculation as to whom it may be.
We will. So what's gone out this week, Matt, content-wise? What have we got to talk about? So
we filmed quite a few videos up at Turnberry. We're up on that's the west coast, isn't it? Yeah, the west coast of Scotland. That was the start of the month of May. So we filmed Presswick, a couple at Turnberry, and did some collaborations up there. And we've got one of the collaborations coming out, which is with Andy Carter and Alex Etches. It's actually another break par episode for me.
You say coming out. It will be out by the time this goes out. In fact, it will be out yesterday, even though we're filming this today.
I'm thinking we're on Wednesday today. I'm thinking it was going Thursday. It's the opposite way around, isn't it?
For us, it's going out tomorrow. Yeah. And for you lot, it's going out yesterday. Yeah, so you'll have to go and search it.
We're talking third, fourth, past, present tense here. So that's gone out. Really good. We played it round the front 9 of Robert the Bruce course, which I don't know if you've played that one.
I've not. I played Ailsa a couple of times. Yeah. The third time I went to play Robert the Bruce, but Ailsa got offered to us and we had to go and do it. So I've still not played it.
It's really good. I played it. Obviously, they also had a load of changes on it when Trump took it over. The Robert the Bruce also had a bit of a redesign, and what he's done over 7, 8, 9, 10 round that sort of corner of the golf course is incredible. It's a really, really good golf course, and I think one that if you picked it up and moved it, somewhere else along the coastline and it wasn't next to the Ailsa, it would be raved about because there's some really, really good holes on it and some really good views as well. So it's another break par episode, me trying to get back to my best golf, and we had Alex and Andy join in sort of a team element as well. I won't spoil it, but the practice might have paid off.
You spoiled it last episode because while I was telling you you'd played pretty poorly, you told everybody that it might be a different story around Robert the Bruce. So everybody expecting good things.
You don't expect too much, but some of the practice paid off.
It better be red.
Don't expect too much, but it's getting better.
Good.
It's better than episode 1.
So it should be.
Yeah, because that was poop. That was poop. But yeah, we've got that. I think we'll have a tip going out as well today. I'm actually enjoying. We didn't do loads of coaching content for the last. Well, we have probably done it for the last 3 months. We sort of neglected it maybe last year, not as much as we did. Obviously, I built the channel on coaching content because I was full-time coaching at the time, and it was a way to get people in the door and see me for lessons. And then once I stopped coaching, it wasn't as sort of prevalent, but it's something that, my passion's in there. I love helping golfers getting better any which way we can. And yeah, we will be seeing, tips every week, and we've got another one coming out this week, which hopefully, if it's something that you think resonates with you, it might help. Give it a try, give it a go. And also, there's the link to the Skillest stuff as well. And
comment questions as well. There's no reason why we wouldn't see comments and people asking things about the golf swing, the things that might help, and we can always go and make that video, plan that video. You can answer questions.
Yeah, definitely. I think from a lot of the old videos that I used to do, pre-lockdown and before we went full-time, we were doing like course logs and tech reviews. A lot of the videos were flooded with comments like, Matt, I struggle to chip out a long rough by the green. I'm struggling to hit my hybrid off the floor. I'm really struggling to get the club back on plane. So if you've got any of those, just head over to the coaching videos and just whack those in, and we do read them all, and we might not answer every single one. We try and answer as much as we can, but if we see those and there's something we think, oh yeah, I've got a little drill for that. Tom might even have something that he can suggest, or even hop on and
a lot of the ideas in the past will have come from you delivering lessons as well. I know when I do things for the people I teach now, send them over videos, and a lot of the time it'll come from me seeing a common mistake. So you'll come out of a day's worth of lessons and think, I've seen that 5 times today, I've seen this 3 times in the last week. Normally when it comes to April, people start to struggle striking it from the grass again because they've been hitting off a range map most of the year.
Yeah, that great season.
Yeah. So normally I think in the past you would see, you would get ideas from lessons, whereas now there's no reason why people can't give you ideas in the comments.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so if you see any of those, fire them in. And then the Monday video was a good one. Cobra, one of the first tech ones we've done in probably, since the sort of crazy season when all the drivers are getting released and everything's coming out around that January time. So there's a new Cobra 3D iron that's come out, which I'd only heard of 3D irons when Bryson had his printed. And
had them authorised to play just before play.
Yeah, fair play to him. I wonder if he actually had to pay for that.
I would guess so.
Yeah, there'd be something. Maybe that's why they cost 10 grand a set. But yeah, we had the Cobra ones, which they've got. Obviously, they're known for a little bit of 3D stuff. They've got the putters. They've had little bits go into certain parts of clubs in the past, and now they're bringing a full set to market. So we had the review of those, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but very good looking iron, I would say.
Yeah, I think so.
Felt pretty decent performance wise. Go and watch the video. And then there was just a bit of a flaw on price, I would say.
Yeah, that's where I wanted to go with today's podcast with you. I was looking through the comments this morning and thinking about the cost of equipment these days, the cost of memberships, which is a different conversation. And I think in the past, golf's always been an exclusive sport, or known as.
Yeah.
More recently has felt a lot more accessible.
Yes.
And I almost feel over the last 6 months it's starting to tip the balance again back to being more exclusive.
Yeah. I would agree and disagree in some camps.
There's been some inflation, but let's have that discussion. So as I'd already planned this, a perfect comment coming actually just 1 hour ago from Nigel. Says, "Hi Matt."
Was it you? Did you write? Are you Nigel?
I'm Nigel. I've got my own account.
Nigel.
He's got a photo on the beach with his family. It's not me.
Is it you? Have you photoshopped your head onto it?
Great looking clubs, as you would expect when designed and built by a computer, but the cost of golf clubs is rising all the time, and these are very expensive. This trend does mean there is room for DTC manufacturers like Cayley and Hogan. Cayley or Cali? I want to say Cali, even though I've just said Cayley. Okay, Cali, Hogan, etc. But the expense of new golf equipment and membership is too high.
Please discuss.
Answer in as many words as possible.
Yeah, firstly on that point of Cayley, Hogan, I can't remember a time pre sort of 2010 where you would get really an unknown name iron. For our non-English listeners, this will make sense to the English listener. A cheap iron back in the day was one from Argos. Remember Hippo?
Yeah.
So if you were Argos is a department store, isn't it? Of such, a bit like a Costco in a way, but doesn't have food. It's weird, it just sells everything, sell a lot of stuff, and you wouldn't get a tailor-made there, but they always had packages. I always remember in the Argos catalogue, there'd be a bit of a dodgy trolley. You could maybe get some shoes. There'd be that ball on one of those hanging tees, wouldn't there?
You're showing your age.
Yeah.
There
was always a Hippo set in there or something like that, wasn't it? Or Ram. Ram was one of them.
Yeah, back in the day it was a magazine.
Yeah.
And basically there were 10 different areas of the magazine. It would go through sport and leisure. You would get jewellery, but it was never the flashiest of jewellery. It was maybe the £150 watch or the Casio stuff. You go and get a lawnmower from there in the same order as a phone charger.
Yeah,
so you can kind of grab everything. And it was a click and collect, wasn't it, basically, before click and collect existed.
And that's where you would sort of see like the cheaper stuff that as well you would go, that's rubbish. Like that package set at whatever it was, let's call it 250 quid. You got a trolley, you got a bag, you got 14 golf clubs, you got a dozen golf balls, but you went, it's probably pretty, it's going to get you playing. That was sort of the cheap entry into golf, as where definitely now we are seeing better products at much lower prices. Cayley, Haywood, Hogan. Are Hogan back again? They are, aren't they?
Yeah, Hogan are about.
I think Ram I mentioned a moment ago. No, Ram were bought and they released like a forged iron for about 400 quid last year.
I think now even if you look at the Rife stuff, that's very cheap and it's good.
American
good
Golf
quality.
bought them. Yeah. So, I think like that's one thing to bear in mind, isn't there? That there is more availability of better quality product at a cheaper price point, but then the sort of big five, big three, whatever you want to call them, Callaway, Titleist, Ping, TaylorMade, everything is creeping. But do you know what? It's still selling.
It is selling. I've got a shopping bag on the iPad full, which we're going to talk through in a second and look at a couple of prices. The consumer's still buying, and I think it's one of those, everyone's got a different budget. I really want a Lamborghini. I can't afford one, so I don't get one. Come on, everyone, subscribe.
Yeah,
get Matt a Lamborghini.
But there's no one saying, well, you've got to have a Lamborghini to drive.
Do you think people are buying as regularly?
I don't know. I don't think that's happening.
I think that's changed a lot.
I think, sort of the whole marketing behind the clubs now, when we saw certain slogans, X amount of yards longer, this will do this will do that, and all these promises that were put into place. I think definitely since, YouTube's come along, and it's not just like a magazine going, well, let's advertise your stuff, so we'll say some nice stuff about it, and then we'll take your money for the advertisement, where YouTube's individuals who aren't, an advertiser as such, there's been a lot more, well, I've got this club and this is what I actually found out about it. These are the facts. And there's things like My Golf Spy who go through loads of testing. And then there's all the independent reviewers like we do. And you'll say, well, I've just gone and got this club, whether you sent it, whether you go and buy it. And since then, I think those claims that were made, a lot of people have gone, well, look at last year's one and look at this year's one. There's not that much difference, so I don't need to go and buy it. So I think there's been that sort of, and from the manufacturers as well, I think they know that a lot of people think like that now, so they're not just going to go, oh, new driver, right, that's going to fix everything for me. So
I think the difference is now as well with the different years of clubs is you can only go and really get custom fit for this year's model. You can't go in most places, you can't go and find yourself, I don't know, let's think of it, a Sim 2. Sim 2s are selling out of shops at the minute, really good driver. But it comes with the shaft that is in it because it's pre-made, sitting in a shop warehouse somewhere. You're not going and getting the custom fit for the shaft. If you turn up to a retailer and say, I want a tailor-made driver, you have the choice of what's on the shelf or a £550 QI10.
Yeah.
So I think that's where people are maybe struggling to get the exact club that's right for them because they can't touch they don't want to go near the £550, but they'll happily spend £250 maybe on a Sim 2 that's still sitting on the shelf.
Yeah.
So you do still have access to them. Do you think it's getting too expensive? Do you think the brands will start to harm themselves? Let's go through a couple of prices while you think about your answer. We've got the AI Smoke sitting at $499. There's a big Bertha here as well, by the way, which I didn't realise was there. A 449.
Got one of them. But nice driver.
One of those is the newer ones.
Yeah.
Nice. didn't know it was out at the minute. We've then got
It came out last year, that one.
Okay. The Ping G430 Max 10K golf driver, which is a mouthful in itself. That's worth an
Is it
extra
a golf
50
driver?
quid. Yeah.
Yeah, just to clarify.
Worth the extra 50 quid for the extra words. 549 or sort of 469, depending on the model you get.
What's just a Max, not 10K?
Sorry, that is just the Max, the 469.
469, and then what's the new one?
And then 549.
See, that's a little bit crazy because they're part of the same family, aren't they? Yes, the Max 10K came out later.
Yeah.
But it's still is that like the M Sport edition? So you've got your BM, you've got a 3 Series, but if you want the proper one.
I don't know if that's a new model though, because I think back to a new pricing model. Because I think back to a R7, and you would say you've got an R7 and an R7 Super Quad. R9 came with a Super Tri that was always an extra 40, 50 quid.
There was like the TP. Do you remember
and
TPs?
The TP version.
You paid more for the TP.
Or the Super Deep.
Yeah, with
Deeper
the TP.
Head. Little tour head.
Yeah, like you got TP there. You must be a player.
Must be good.
You must be.
Just hit it out the toe and it's gone 142 yards.
Yeah, I think, like, are they too expensive? It's relative, isn't it? For a millionaire, no. For someone who isn't a millionaire, yeah. It is, the price is what the price, and the supply and demand obviously is there because they are putting those prices out and people are still buying them. If they were $599 or $469, whatever it may be, around that thing, and they didn't sell any, and they were next year all of a sudden went, oh, right, okay, we need to do something drastically different here. I think, obviously, and at the end of the day, it is a business, so they've got to, cover their overheads. There are shipping costs, there's manufacturing costs, there's labour costs, there's all these
sponsorship costs.
Yeah, that's why you see people like Cayley, Haywood, Hogan, all these others aren't paying Rory McIlroy, Xander Schauffele, Scotty Scheffler. They're not paying them millions and millions of pounds a year, so they don't have to throw that on top of the driver. So that's why maybe a set of Callaway Apex irons that are £1,000, like a Blade MB, which maybe look very similar to a Haywood blade that come out at £500 or whatever the price is of those. It's half the price because, you've got to go and pay your tour player, and you've got to add different things along the way for even like little things like the signage that you see, the POS in an American Golf or a Clubhouse Golf or, a Dick's Sporting Goods or wherever it may be. Someone's got to pay for that. So that gets bundled into everything, and it's like, right, okay, well, we've got X amount going out. We need to charge this to cover the costs that we've got and have a little bit of profit in there for our shareholders. So I think there is, the price is getting astronomical, but the good thing is you don't have, no one's coming up on the first tee and saying, excuse me, there was a quick look in your bag there. Is that the brand new QI10 or?
There was also a comment on the video. I can't find it again now, but somebody asking or saying they'd love to see how many drivers were left over at the end of the year. So when we're talking about that Sim 2 that's currently getting sold for £249, how many of those are left? And is part of that in the business plan the reason why the price has to be so high?
Yeah,
so they can afford to make a lot. And now they're not selling maybe as many, or they're having more left over, or maybe they're overproducing. The people who are buying them brand new are having to foot that bill as well.
Yeah, potentially.
So the markup's a little more, retailers putting the markup a touch more.
Yeah. And then there's things like, looking into some... Do you pay for your custom fit? Well, is that included in the price?
Well, markup-wise, I know from... I won't say what catalogue, but one of the supplier catalogues, and seeing what the trade price is. Yeah. And then seeing what the current sale price is in this store was a 55% markup. Now, that's a lot for... It was a lot more than I expected. I didn't think they'd be making that much.
No.
But then you do think, is the custom fit price, the free custom fit that they advertise, it's just wrapped up in the driver.
Yeah.
It's no different.
Time, isn't it?
Time of the staff.
Employ someone.
They've got simulators and things like you have here, which aren't cheap. They've got to fit out now. If you look at a Scottsdale Golf or a Clubhouse Golf or a Tour X, they've got such a good setup to be able to fit people perfectly and stock them all to do a same day build with a big warehouse. That comes at a huge cost. And that's what you ultimately pay for as well.
Yes. Do you know what not drives me crazy, or what I don't really understand? Let's say you've got a wedding coming up. You're going out for a nice little party or something. You're thinking, right, don't know, whatever it is, a big event, and you think, I'm going to go and get myself a suit.
Yeah.
I want to look really good for this event. And maybe it's your 40th birthday and you're going away. The family have taken you somewhere. You've got a show coming up and you want to look $1 million. You've said to yourself, do you know what? I'm going to go and spend £1,000 on this suit. I'm going to go down to Savile Row in London. I'm going to get the train down. I'm going to go down to Savile Row. You would not walk into the shop and go, "Hi mate, that blue one up there, yeah, that'll do." You'd go, "What size?" It doesn't matter. £1,000, it must be good, right?
Yeah, you'd make sure you'd
have it fit, wouldn't you? It'd be like, right, okay, you go through the whole shebang. You go, right, I'm going down to get this nice suit. So you would, what's your chest measurement? What's your shoulders? What's your arm length? What's your inseam? What belt goes with it?
And then you'd still look terrible, which is like me getting fit for a driver and slicing it off the first.
Yeah, but what you're doing there, though, every suit's different. Everyone's different, aren't they?
Yeah.
You've said that you're going to go and invest some money in this nice suit. So when it comes to golf clubs, and like, obviously I've got a load of friends who I play golf with, and the common question every time, Matt, which driver's going to be best for me? I don't know.
No idea. Yeah, of course.
Shall we go and try them firstly? No, I can't be bothered. Right, and you want to pay £600, and then you're going to probably moan a little bit down the line that it's expensive, isn't it? God, that's £600. Did you go and get fit? No. Did you find out which shaft was better? No. Right. Why don't golfers get fit? Why don't you? It'd be like, again, like, do you want a new car? Yeah. Do you want to test drive it? It's all right. It's got a steering wheel on it.
I think most people do get fit now, and when I ask if the prices are getting too expensive,
I don't think they do.
I think because it's so accessible, they at least try them. They at least try before they buy. Nobody really walks in, buys off a shelf, and doesn't hit it at least first, because you barely walk into a golf shop now where there's not at least a net with a TrackMan or something there. So I think most people at least try the club. I think where the problem is, when I say, is it becoming a bit unaccessible or a bit outpriced, is we're now talking most of the time £550 to be able to get custom fit, because you need this year's model. You mentioned about cars. I can't go and choose my car interior when I'm buying second hand.
You couldn't, but with golf, what you could do is go and get, like, you could take your driver, let's say, you go and buy and it's real, well, irons you could do a little bit of it with, but everything's interchangeable on a driver, which is the one where everyone's like, I need to go and get a good driver. Everyone's generally like, I'm going to buy it. Like, you'll probably put up with your set of irons for maybe 2-3 seasons. Generally, you're not going to go, oh, the new Callaway Apex is out. I've got last year's. I need to, like, you'll go, nah, it's all right. As where the shiny new driver comes out and you go, ooh, right, I'm going to go and have a look at that one. But the shafts are interchangeable. So why not, if you're thinking, I don't want to spend the £600, right, well, what's a new shaft? Maybe a couple of hundred. Have I got this new drive, like last year's driver head? Why don't I actually go and get, or even if it's, well, what's it on, one of the second-hand club sites, I could get 2 year, a Ping from 2 years ago, G425, great driver. Right, that's going to be 190, let's say. I could probably get a shaft for 150. Right, I've only spent 340.
Yeah.
So I've saved myself 150. You could go and get a shaft fitting. It's going to require you to, have a little bit of time spent looking around on the internet, finding, right, okay, for us up here in northwest of England, we've got a great one, Nick Hibbs over at Tour X. I'm not sure if Scottsdale do that, or Clubhouse at their sort of build things, but again, it's just like for them, it is, here's a shaft, like the shafts are for sale as well, and you could go, how different are those? We've actually got a video coming out next week about shafts, that the most common question, again, like after which one's best for me, do I need stiff or regular? That's like saying, do I need a size 7 in Nike, Adidas, Reebok, Fila?
We had that conversation down at Mizuno, didn't we? And they were basically saying there's no industry standard. You can't just stamp an S or an R on a shaft and say that's the same. It's completely different. You've got kick points, you've got torque, you've got the weight, you've got all sorts.
Just the profile of it.
R and S.
Which is where, like, when we're saying, is it getting too pricey? I think, launch prices are pricey,
but the product's getting better as
product's getting better.
The service,
but to get a great set of, like, I'm in a very fortunate position that we get sent golf clubs. It's like, right, do you want to test this one? Do you want to test that one? Right, okay, do you want to try those? Yeah, okay, I like those. Okay, well, we'll give you a set of those because we're going to see those in your bag, and that's like marketing for those guys. We're not paying for them. We're not paid by them to do it. It's just like, oh, right, that works for us and it works for you. Excellent. But if I wasn't doing that and I was just a regular golfer looking for some new clubs, I would most likely, or I'd definitely go, right, okay, I want to have this set here. And it doesn't have to be this year's. It could be last year's. It could be a driver from 2 years ago. But I'm definitely going to go and make sure that it's tailored for me. I'll get the right shaft in that. I'm going to make sure that all my loft and lies are right. Even I remember when I was sort of probably 2021 and playing a lot of amateur golf, even before it was, can we change the shaft of this? Can we change it? Like, especially on my irons, it was like, right, let's just make sure the loft and lies are right every time.
Yeah.
And that's like a service that costs about 30 quid, I think.
Yeah, it's not much. You can get an MOT in a pro shop generally,
like
can't you?
New set of grips.
Yeah. That's not that cheap anymore, by the way.
That's not that cheap, but
used to be 40, 50 quid for a new set of grips.
Yeah, new set of irons, £1,000. New set of grips, 80, 100 quid, will make them feel like you've got that new set of clubs in your hands. So
it's the best thing you can do is re-grip the clubs.
I think price is a strange one, isn't it? And
I would say I've got 4 to 1 people looking for second-hand clubs or bargains from a Cash for Clubs or from a golf bidder.
Yeah.
4 people out of every 5 say looking for the second-hand price, not going near the new stuff.
Mm.
And I think then that's where the difficulty comes in of them asking the questions of how do I go and get as close to a custom fit as I can? Where do I get that knowledge from?
Yeah.
Who can I speak to at the academy where I coach? We don't have all the equipment to be able to try them all out. I'd love to have a load of different shafts and say, go and find something like this with this head and we can sort of put something together. The likes of Golf Clubs for Cash and Golf Bidder do a great job now in being able to give people access to trade the clubs in and get last year's model or the year before. You can even do it online. And I don't know if they do have something where they'll maybe swap the equipment in and out, the shafts in and out for you if that suits you better.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a gap in the market for that, to be able to say we can get you a 200, 250 pound driver as close to custom fit as possible.
Yeah, I think, was it SAS Golf, Simon? Great channel. He bought loads of second-hand stuff. I think he was doing something along those lines where it'd be like, right, okay, you've got your old stuff. Let's maybe look at shafts. Let's maybe look at different options of how we can spec this out for you.
It's definitely a way forward to try and get back down to those reasonably priced drivers.
I think, so overall, like, is it too expensive? Yes, but it doesn't have to be. If you want to, like, the entry, I think the great thing now is that the entry into the games, from like a club standpoint, I remember when I started, it was like, are you a member of a club? No. Where do you play golf? Like, how do you play? Like, oh, there's that Muni. Oh, you play at the Muni. Oh, that must be bad. That must be really bad as well. Now it's like, oh yeah, I just go on golf tee times or whatever it is, or I play in the Mizuno Pairs Open, the Golf Guide stuff. I think the entries to actually get in a game, and even like getting your handicap now, it was like, well, you've got to be a member of a club to have a handicap. You've got to join the club to be in the club.
That was a barrier in itself, wasn't it? That was hard work.
That's changed a lot. So I think it's like anything, isn't it? You pay for what you get what you pay for, and if you want the top notch of everything, you're going to have to pay for it. And if you want the members club experience, you've got the price of a club. You're going to almost get guaranteed tee times. You can go 7 days a week. If you get a free afternoon, maybe you get an afternoon off, you can just nip up the club. maybe jump out for 9 or 18 if there's space on the tee sheet. If not, you might have a practice facility there, or you can wait till a tee time comes free, as where if you've not, you scan in. Oh, there's one here for it's 2 hours away.
Yeah.
Oh, right, I can't go to that. Right, there's one. Oh, that's a bit too much that for 9 holes. So it's all relative, isn't it?
Yeah, you can definitely make it cheaper. If I said to you now, you've got say £350.
Yeah, I'm going to the pub.
And I'm coming.
No.
But for a driver, because we've been speaking mostly about drivers today, I suppose. There's a couple of brands thinking around the sort of Srixon, Mizuno, Wilson, all sit around about that 350 area. And I think back to Cobra made a massive change to their company probably 5 years ago. Was it the F9?
Yeah.
Where their game completely changed, but they used to sit in that lower price bracket.
349, weren't they?
Great driver. 349, I think they were.
Yeah.
Great driver, sat maybe £100 below the big five, as we say, or big four. The other ones, Cobra, I'd say probably sit up there with them now.
Yeah, they're
where
in
you got
there, yeah.
Titleist, Callaway, TaylorMade, and Ping. So you got those four. Cobra seem to have joined them, and they have done pretty much with price as well. But if we drop back down to 350 and said you want a brand new driver 350, where do you feel like you would go?
Wilson
driver.
Well, Mizuno aren't that much. They're going to be more.
Mizuno 379.
No, they'll be in the fours. But then you look at things like, well, can you go to Kirkland and get one of those? Like you look at Costco. Obviously, you're not getting fit for it, but then would you go and get the head, maybe get something bought for, you change the tip and things like that. But I think there's probably an opportunity for someone like the Mizuno guys. Great driver, to be fair. Like the Max one, brilliant. This year's STZ, ST.
We've got a Mizuno STZ or STZ for you Americans.
Yeah.
For 349.
Yeah. That's an old one though.
And then that's last year's, and then you got an STG is 449.
Yeah.
Do you think that's where they should sit price range wise?
No.
I feel like looking at that, they're missing the Cobra trick there.
Yeah.
It's a good quality driver.
Yeah.
If they put themselves in a price bracket that allowed people to go and buy it, and they got a good reputation.
Yeah.
They've got a great reputation for irons, haven't they?
Yeah.
Amazing. You play Mizuno irons, I play Mizuno irons.
Yeah.
The players play Mizuno irons.
What are we doing with them?
I hit them off the toe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're missing a trick there in trying to force the way into the market, like it feels like Cobra did.
Again, though, does it come down to what, as we spoke earlier, there's costs of manufacturing, there's shareholder things, there's price points. Do they associate themselves in that price bracket of, well, no, this is the irons are up there, our brand is this, like in this category, we don't split it. The iron sales will carry Mizuno.
Yeah, you'd think so.
And when you look into the bigger things as well, the golf isn't the biggest thing for them. Running. Massive.
They're huge over in Asia, aren't they?
Oh,
massive brand.
Like scary big.
Yeah.
Like they go golf. Yeah, don't matter. Like so, there's like always other little things that would, as consumers, we don't see.
Yeah.
So you go, oh, that's expensive. They shouldn't be that much. And you go, well, actually, they've got a sugar daddy over there paying for everything.
Yeah, they're fine. As a whole company, they're absolutely
you like that
fine,
analogy then, didn't you?
It was good, that.
But you look at it like that and you go, right, okay, well, that's where they're going to sit. So is it too much skin off their nose? Are they worried about it? Maybe a little bit. They maybe want to sell more drivers, but if they've got something else that's propping it up, you go, okay, right, that'll work for us. It's a bit like, I think with, like, say, Pro V1, a lot of pro shops won't really make much money on Pro V1s. They may, out of a box of 12, maybe make £1.
Yeah.
You think, oh, is it worth having? Is it worth, like some people even potentially lose money on it sometimes, but they go, all right, it's our loss leader, but it gets everyone in the door. You've got the Pro Vs, right, okay, then maybe I can sell them a shirt as well. Maybe I can sell them this. But that's the whole sort
selling a sleeve of Pro Vs because we've just lost the other 6 that we had on the cars, and we ran in after 9.
Everyone asks for them, don't they? So, I think, the whole business side of it, that's above our pay grade, and we need to, look at that. But I think, getting to is golf too expensive? It can be whatever you want it to be.
Speaking of drivers that look pretty good for the price point, I had one of my students come in with a Kirkland Costco driver last week. I've seen the wedges plenty. I've had a lot of people coming in with the wedges a lot of the time. And you've done reviews on the Kirkland balls.
Yeah.
They always get good reviews. Everything they make seems to be pretty good. The Kirkland driver looked amazing, and I was very surprised at the grip and shaft quality, and I think that's something that could definitely be worth you doing a review on.
So the Kirkland one is one that we are planning to review. I will try and get my hands on one of those and see how they go. I know Rick's done one, James Robinson's done one, and from a brief look at their videos, seems like a decent driver. We've actually got a ball, not from Kirkland, someone else, another huge retailer, but isn't a golf retailer.
I know what you mean. No spoilers, or you're doing a spoiler?
You can do a spoiler if you want.
Decathlon?
It is Decathlon, yeah. So their new Inesis range. Have you ever, by the way, actually checked out the Inesis golf facility?
No, not seen.
Right, after we finish this, go and Google it. Everybody, if you're listening or watching, Google the Inesis golf facility. It's over in France. It is incredible. Like, Decathlon, $13 billion company, right?
Yeah.
Do everything. You want a fishing rod? Got it. Hunting bow? Got it. You need a hiking pack? Got it. Wellies? Got it. Everything. You name it, they've got it in terms of outdoors and sportsy. Their golf facility has got like this indoor driving range.
Yeah.
That's like 300 yards long. It's got an outdoor driving range. It's got 9 holes. It's got an R&D facility. They literally make the club there and then. They'll go outside, test it in which element it is meant to be used upon, back into the lab, then go again. Right, this needed change.
So that's purely an R&D site. It's not any part of the range open to public? Or?
No, you don't go and...
Oh, wow.
No, it's literally it's like golf nerd heaven. It's incredible. Just honestly, go and have a look at it. It is immense. And they've got this new ball out there, Tour 900 series, which I'm very, very eager to try, because last time it was pretty decent from memory. I think the distance was down a little bit on it, and the cover was a little bit below where all the top premium golf balls were. But yeah, it's going to be quite an interesting one.
And price point, where is it?
$29.99 for a dozen. So not
that used to be a Pro V.
Like when I started, that was a Pro V. Now they're 47.
I think more. I think most places 50. You find them low 50s, 52ish. Yeah.
Wow. So if it's decent, we will let you know and keep an eye out for that video over on the main channel. But interesting, I think it's one that it will spike a lot of comments that on socials that talk about price, and it's one that, like I said, for everyone, I think it's relative, isn't it?
We find that people are quite price sensitive, even with the videos you put out on the main channel, aren't they? If we do a budget series for a cheaper green fee, or you post a video based on a budget Kirkland golf ball, maybe people are definitely on the internet looking for the bargains, trying to find out how can I get a good quality piece of equipment, like you mentioned before, without it breaking the bank. Is there a way I can go and do it in Costco? Can I go and get myself golf balls in a cheaper retailer like Decathlon, rather than probably £15 for 3 Pro Vs in a pro shop now?
Yeah. The only issue with it is obviously you're losing that pro's touch, aren't you? I think if you support, like over here we have the PGA, supporting the local pros is massive, and if you've got a really good one who's going out there fitting you correctly, their service will carry. You buy those clubs as well. That's one of the big things, with getting custom fit from your local pro. If you go and get that £500 driver, from them, you then are, let's say, a member at Warrington Golf Club, wherever it may be, where you are up at Helsby. You buy it from them. 6 months later, when you go back in and go, it's just not going great at the minute with this driver. Okay, let's have a quick look. And right, have you played with the settings? Yeah, I've had a little tweak with them, just trying to figure it out. And they'll go, well, we did have it on C2, let's say. Let's get you back there. Let's just see you hit a few more, and you get that little bit more, bang for your buck as well. As opposed to you're not getting that from Costco or Decathlon, are you?
No, that service from your local pro shop, your club pro, is always a lot better than even going to one of the bigger golf brand retailers.
If they are good at it.
Yeah, providing they've got everything they need and they deliver the odd swing tip as well to go with the driver. They can give you a helping hand in swinging
the rubber
better.
end. not that end.
Not that end. You miss it. If they can give you a helping hand with your swing technique while they're fitting you.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I've had some people coming in for a lesson who've said, I tried to get fitted for a driver, but they said I need a couple of lessons first. I need to, hit the middle of the club face helps. Yeah, unless you got the AI smoke, it's an extra 7 yards from the top of the toe.
I found that
on the advert.
Yeah, I found that every time.
I think it's an extra 12 from low heel, isn't it?
Do you know what? I'm excited to try that Triple Diamond Max, because I've got Triple Diamond now, but there's a Max one. So I'll be super good then.
Them names are just getting longer and longer. You'll be amazing.
I am sold.
We'll be in the red every week.
Yeah,
haven't missed a fairway for 2 years.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting conversation with price, and then there's a few people have commented on sort of membership prices as well, which is a different conversation. I just hope it stays as popular and as accessible as it definitely has been over the last 5 years, because I think we're in a situation in golf at the minute where we can really make the most of it.
Yeah.
We got such a spike in after COVID.
Yeah.
We'd hate to
go back to the old days.
It just because maybe golf clubs or golf club manufacturers tried to profiteer off that popularity. You'd hate to see it reverse because of that.
Yeah, I think it's up to everyone involved, isn't it? Just to try and grow it as much as we can and keep people in, and like I said, throughout it doesn't have to be. You have to have the best equipment and the newest equipment to play golf and be a member at the greatest club. Get your clubs second hand, get them from a friend, go and play.
As long as they're not 2 inches long and 3 degrees upright.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you're 5'6". Yeah.
Go and get, and then go and play at a weekend at a muni, whatever golf is to you, as long as you're playing, that's cool for me.
Yeah.
Just keeping it and keep going.
Just before we finish off in the comments section
yes.
that we said we will do every time, I have addressed pretty much every comment we were going to with that conversation. But there was one comment. The monkey is off his back. That was from last episode. That was when you were trying to remember what the saying was for Xander winning the PGA Championship.
Yes, the monkey is off his back.
Someone helped us out.
Yeah, well done. Who was it? Do you know them?
It was that the username was BJM, and I've got a feeling it is actually someone I teach who actually come for lessons based off our first podcast. So OG.
Wow.
I think it's Ben based on the username. I might be wrong.
Well done, Ben.
Ben, if it's you, just message me saying yes, it was you, and thanks for continuing.
I was actually, when you said that, then I don't know if you'll pick this one, like the visual, I actually glanced at my back as if what?
Yeah, I didn't give you any context, did I? But yeah, the monkey is off his back is the appropriate way of Xander winning a major.
Yeah. Now the floodgates will open.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Be nice to see.
Fingers crossed. Well, Thomas, is that us done for the week?
That's another good podcast.
Right. Off we go. Let's go and play golf in the wet rain.
Can I hear the rain still on the roof?
Wow.
Always. Thanks for listening and watching, everyone. We'll be back for another episode with a guest next week. You tell them who the guest is, or can they be surprised? They can be surprised next week.
/ disappointed. It's me!
Again.
Yeah. Guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, like we said earlier, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Go over to the main channel as well. Hit subscribe on that one for all the great stuff we do over there. If you're listening on the audio platforms, make sure you're leaving a review and following us. And we will see you next week with our disappointing guest.
Adios.